So the market is up as everyone's at Davos and all the big banks are now making deals get done. But let's look into this because the Nasdaq is something that is at a key point, and it's bounced off of a level where you can get a little bit more constructive. As soon as it breaks out of here, look for the buyers to start stepping in. There's a lot of cash in the sidelines. According to Bank of America, there's all-time or 21-year high levels, and some of the most beaten names should be ready to go. NVDA I like a lot. It's had a terrible stock. It's had a terrible year since last November, and now it's in the bottom of a range, but I expect it to break out and break over its medium moving averages. And then another one I really like is MRVL Technologies. You can see similar type of charts. All of these chip names are moving the same direction, and I think the tide's about to turn for them. But we'll see, because the elites and everyone important is in Davos, and they're making deals, and they're, talking about inflation that they've created throughout this pandemic, and then they're raising rates. So a lot of that's priced into these names. That's what you see these downtrends for, and I think we're due for a bounce. MRVL Technologies and NVIDIA are my two favorite chip names, but I got other names that I love. Yatra is an Indian Expedia that's now looked like it's double bottomed and is starting to turn upwards. I think it could go to $5. It's a really cheap company, especially on a forward basis with a 13 PE, 13 forward PE. And it's trading at a price to sales now that is pretty low for a growth company, growing at 100% year over year. So I like this company a lot. I like looking at third world companies because the dollar's starting to get weak. I don't think the dollar's going to stay weak, but when all the banks are flying to Europe and they're lending out their dollars, those dollars are flying, and you're seeing a little bit of a sell-off there. Look for the dollar to continue to stay strong, though. I don't think that this is a top of a price chart. Who knows? It's all a guessing game, that's for sure. The most important part is that people are getting into equities at the right prices, whether it's the S&P 500. If you're a passive guy, just putting your money to work when there's lows here. But I like picking the best stocks in this whole ETF, and NVIDIA and MRVL are certainly examples of those. One thing that's pretty emblematic of the kind of situation we're in is Google. They're going in for a stock split, and I think that's going to bring the stock higher, especially as more people can afford shares, they can afford calls. But it's not been an easy time for any tech name. So therefore, now that everything's looking really ugly and starting to, round out and develop bottoms, technical bottoms, for a long-term investor, I think it's time to enter.